Thank you, Shocks. A lot of support in that stadium for Faker. We heard him mention, you know, they may not have given Fnatic enough credit for how well they would come out and play. And so, Sheepy, I want to come back to you with what SKT might take away from this series going into the finals tomorrow.
Yeah, this is actually what I wanted to finish from last time. I think that SKT actually saw that there's a lot of competition out there, that they are not the undisputed champions, and that there can be cracks and there can be exploits in their game style. So I think that they will rewatch this, and especially the aggressiveness, the TP and the flanks from Fnatic is something they can take something from away.
I liked how they changed their strategy towards the last game. The key player for Fnatic was Reignover with Yellowstar, and by taking the Alistar, tower diving becomes a lot tougher because he's a difficult champion to dive, especially post-level 6. And the thing that Nunu brings to the table is that he's a champion that, when he's in the game, he has a really easy time isolating the other jungler and removing them from making plays. So he's almost like a sacrificial lamb and gets both junglers out of the equation. So the team has to play without a jungler, creating any favorable 1v1 matchups in any lane, swing even further, and that's exactly what happened.
And I want to hit on that even further because they took it one step beyond that. Picking an Urgot Alistar lane meant that Yellowstar had to stay home. You saw on the blue buff invade, I was sitting there saying, Yellowstar, you have to go help your jungler, but they are so concerned about keeping Steel back in the series because that's when they were winning games, that Yellowstar was caught between the biggest rock and a hard place decision I have ever seen. He was chugging potions, trying to force issues, but I think he made a little bit of a misplay because they got Reignover so far behind and continued to bully him that the Nunu in the end was just an unstoppable force.
I have to say what's been really interesting for me for this entire tournament, but also this series in particular, is to watch the pacing of the game, because we've seen these aggressive playstyles. We've seen SKT fight that off, trying to stay as composed as they can, but also then watch them, as you mentioned, Crumbs, flip it around and put the pressure back on other teams.
Yeah, I really like tempo just all throughout this tournament. Whoever gets those first few dragons, whoever gets those turret dives going for themselves, just start to snowball with those early game, mid game spikes and cheap items too. I really like how it's been played out through the entire tournament.
Now, finally, there was one man that came up big, and this is in this best of against Fnatic. And after leading the charge in this set and coming up big where it counts, we have to recognize Faker as our player of the series. He was 33% of his team's damage over this series.
Yeah, how could he not be player of the series? Even when they were losing, he was making stellar performances and plays. In that last game, he exposed Febiven's lane phase and just put him 100 CS down almost by his own devices solely. He was able to zone him off with Cassiopeia, and Febiven looked scared in this series for the first time and was able to just open up the map from the mid lane alongside the help of Benki.
Yeah, and let's just bring it back to game one. His Ezreal got the whole series kicked off. That was the most impressive mid-game Ezreal play I have ever seen. He outdamaged the mid laner and the AD carry from the other team single-handedly, and his mechanics are just so friggin' good.
I think often is a said faker playmaker, but I think he showed once again that he is the one that can really carry the game and the team, and I think especially his Azir play impressed me a lot.
And it seems only right, Spawn, as you were saying, that if you're going to put all your money on one guy to close out the series, it would be Faker, that star mid laner for SKT. Now, we're going to patch up the rift while Edward Gaming and AHQ Esports Club load in for our second best-of-5 semifinal. Here you can see Westor getting warmed up in AHQ's locker room. He's got a big game ahead of him, and Edward Gaming's pawn is looking cool and collected. Now keep it right here. The 2015 Midseason Invitational continues in just 3.5.
Last game.
No, it's first game. What are you saying?
It's first game, yeah?
First game, guys. Of course it's first game. It's 0 versus 0.
Here comes the AD carry. That's a flash forward. There's no acid hunter yet. Somebody heal from Bang. The Ice Blast gets first blood. Hooney's thrown down the equalizer. Bengi's channeling the absolute 0. We do see the position reverser swapping into the pit. Now Baron has been peeled away. Now Febiven goes forward. There's no Mega Gnar available. That's a flash backwards. Fnatic may be able to win a team fight. Not without Reignover though. Faker, explosive cast backwards. Petrifying gaze down. Double kill for Bang. Triple kill for Bang. Quadra kill for Bang.
SK Telecom T1 will move on to the MSI Finals.